Welcome to this week's Ironhorse Report. I'm Staff Sergeant Kelly Collette. This week, Specialist Daniel Turner takes us to Yarmouk, where the Sons of Iraq receive their final payment from U.S. forces. And you'll see this week's Ironhorse Family Album and Moment of Valor. But first, Sergeant Jesse Delker shows us how improvements in security bring a sense of normalcy to Baghdad's community parks.
Multinational Division Baghdad Civil Affairs soldiers help restore recreational facilities throughout the city.
As a civil affairs officer with 4th Infantry Division, we've been focused on parks, also schools, recreation facilities. Part of the reason we're doing this is to really focus on return to normalcy for the people here in Baghdad and Iraq in general. Over the last 9 months, we've refurbished about 12 different facilities between parks, recreation facilities, and that doesn't even include a lot of the soccer fields that we've also done. And really to give the youth of Baghdad an outlet to do different activities as opposed to getting wrapped up in some of the violence that's been occurring over the last 9 months.
We've been here now since 2003, so that's 5 years. So if you were 13 back in 2003, you're 18 years old now. And that's typically the demographic that we would see come as insurgents or plant an IED. And so if you're thinking long-term like that, which counterinsurgency is, then if you're targeting that population of 13, 14-year-old boys now, hopefully when they're 18, 19, they have a favorable impression of not only coalition forces, but the government of Iraq. The biggest thing is not that we see improvements, but that the people of Iraq see improvements. And in talking to them, the conversations that we've had in the park, we'll stop and talk to people and say, hey, how's it going? Have you seen improvements in the park? And for the most part, I think they're pretty grateful, and they'll acknowledge that they feel safer in the parks, and that the parks have become more beautiful over time.
Reporting for Multinational Division Baghdad, I'm Army Sergeant Jesse Delker.
My name is Lieutenant Colonel David Yebra with the 4th Infantry Division. My wife Sylvia has taken care of my 2 daughters, Christiana and Karina, and my little 5-year-old boy Joseph back in Harker Heights, Texas. I'm able to keep in touch with my family, usually over phone calls, the occasional webcam, and a few photos. My wife does a good job of sending me pictures of special events. Most recently, my daughter celebrated homecoming at Harker Heights High School. And she does a really good job of keeping me up to speed on how the family is doing with photos and some great email messages. We have some tough days here, some good ones and some tough ones. But they're always there day in and day out. And I just want to thank them for everything they do for me. Give me the strength to go on day in and day out here in Baghdad.
Soldiers of Bravo Battery, 4th Battalion, 42nd Field Artillery Regiment, 1st Brigade Combat Team, 4th Infantry Division facilitated the final U.S.-funded payout to the Sons of Iraq in their area. 35 SOI members lined up outside a joint security station in Yarmouk to receive their final payment before being transitioned to the Iraqi government's payroll. Captain James Spofford reflects on the progress made by the SOI members he's worked with.
They just knew that they wanted this area to be free of violence, and they've come into their own force. Their commanders stepped up and taken charge of a lot of things that they've done, and we get a lot of help from them. They'll tip us off to information in the area. They know the people that are supposed to be here and who's not, so they give us eyes on the street 24 hours a day.
Lieutenant Colonel Doug Kirby, battalion commander of the 442nd, also attended the final payout, handing out certificates of appreciation and thanking each SOI for their dedication and hard work towards improving the security of the neighborhood. Reporting for Multinational Division Baghdad, I'm Specialist Daniel Turner, Yarmouk, Iraq.
Around 12:45 on the 11th of March 2008, the Personal Security Detachment for the 11th Iraqi Army Division Military Transition Team cleared a suspected IED, then moved down the road only to encounter a second IED. After assessing the situation, Specialist Lee noticed his gunner, Corporal Candello, was not answering. Specialist Lee responded instantly to Corporal Candelo's wounds and started stabilizing the critically wounded gunner. He continued giving directions until Corporal Candelo was airlifted, then gave the aircrew instructions to keep him stabilized. Specialist Lee's quick thinking, calm and resolute professionalism, and expert execution of his practiced skills were instrumental to the successful extraction and medevac of Corporal Candelo. For his actions, Specialist Juan K. Lee was awarded the Army Commendation Medal with V device for valor.
Well, that's going to wrap up this week's episode of the Ironhorse Report. Of course, you can always watch this episode or any other episode of the Ironhorse Report by logging on to www.hood.army.mil/4ID. Thanks for watching. I'm Staff Sergeant Kelly Collette.